Have you ever wished your mail merge could be a little smarter by sending the right information to the correct people? That's what we'll cover today. Instead of sending the exact same letter or email to everyone, you can sort, filter, or even add rules to control who sees what. This is where Word Mail Merge really starts to shine. Let's get started. For our example, I will continue with the Greenwood Kitchen letter that I set up in the first video of the series. That letter is connected to an Excel list of media contacts, which is a perfect way to show how customization works. First, let's move to the Mailings tab. When we preview our letter, it is set up to use all the records from the data source. Let's look at this list using the option Edit Recipient List. And we'll expand this window to make it easier to see. Here's the data source, media contacts, along with all of the records. Before we print or email the letters, we may want them in a specific order. For example, if you're printing mailing labels, it's usually easier if they're sorted alphabetically by last name. So here's how we do that. From the Mailings tab, we went into Edit Recipient List. And from here, I'll pick Sort. Next, we would pick the field we want, like last name, and then choose ascending or descending order. I want this A through Z, so that's ascending. Now, if I have a much larger list, I might need to have other levels for sorting, like first name, or if it was company, then the last name. For this project, this will be enough. Here I'll pick OK to get back to my letter. And now as we preview the letters, notice that they are sorted by last name. We can also find that if we go back to Edit Recipient List. And here the records are alphabetical by last name. With a large list, this can be much easier to manage. Sorting is great, but what if you only want a message to go to a select group? Filtering lets you narrow it down. For instance, let's say that I want to send letters to contacts in specific states. So from this section to refine the recipient list, I'll pick Filter. Next, pick the field, in this case State, and notice we have different options for comparison. We could exclude certain information. For this, I want it to be equal to. I have my first state here, and then either pick and or. For this, the only way it would work is with an or, because I want to filter also on the state, but simply a different one. So now if the state is California or Oregon, then they will be included. I'll choose OK, and we can check our list and see that these are the only ones that will be included. You can also use this area to find duplicates or apply other conditions. And these options, of course, are especially helpful if you're working with a large list. If you no longer need sorting or filtering, that's really easy to change. To reset everything, we would go back to that Edit Recipient List. It would take us here, and we'll go to each area that we want to change. For Sort here, I'll simply choose Clear All, and then I can move to the tab Filter Records and clear all once again. Now when I go OK, I'm back to the original order and I have all of the records. Sorting and filtering are helpful, but rules give you even more control. Think of rules as instructions that tell Word what to do in specific situations. And keep in mind that rules can be combined with sorting and filtering instructions. So a simple example is what's called the fill-in field. This asks you for text during the merge process and then inserts that text into multiple places in the document. This can be really handy for contracts or forms. But let's look at an even more flexible rule called if, then, else. So once again, back at my letter, after the section about our special salsa, I want to add something extra, but only for our media contacts who live in Colorado. So first, move to the place where you want the text to go. Then we go back to our Mailings tab, and here is Rules. And you can see some examples of various rules. For this, I'll pick If, Then, Else. Similar to what we saw with filtering, I'll pick the field that will apply, in this case, State. And when the state is equal to Colorado, then I want to insert specific text. Here I've included a complimentary pass to a Colorado event. If they're not in Colorado, I'll insert alternate text. So this is the if, then, or else. Once I've completed these elements, Simply OK. And let's preview these letters. First person on this list is not in Colorado. Let's move through this and see how this changes. The next one is, so their message is custom to their state or location. And we could continue to preview to confirm that this rule has customized our messages the way that we want. So in addition to adding fields like their name, this can make our messages feel a lot more personal and much more effective. So that's how you customize your mail merge with sorting, filtering, and rules. These tools give you a lot more flexibility so you're not stuck with a one-size-fits-all message. If you found this helpful, remember to subscribe for more time-saving Microsoft 365 tips. And give this video a like if it helped you out. Would you like more free software tips? Visit thesoftwarepro.com/word to join my mailing list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video in this series.